Welcome to Chasing K-Dramas, the podcast that dissects popular Korean dramas episode by episode. We dig into the characters, themes, and everything in between. I'm Chrissy Choi, and I'm here with my co-host,
Dulcé Sloan! Crack, 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 crack.
How are you feeling?
Girl, so I don't know. So right before this, we did a mini-sode, and we tried 6 types of Korean liquor, like alcohol. And they were all like 13, 14%.
Yeah.
And then we had like a little ramen treat that had like the rice cakes in it.
Rapoki.
Rapoki. And then we had another tteokbokki, a rosé tteokbokki.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried something crazy from TikTok.
We tried mixing tteok, which is Korean rice cake, with with milk, and we ate it like it's cereal. No, I'm so sorry. Anya,
listen,
Anya.
My friends, I was on a podcast, my friend's podcast, All Fancy Everything. When I say years ago, they had a cereal draft. Years ago.
Oh, I bet that's fun. I love me some cereal.
And everyone was making fun of me because of my choices. But yet Shane Torres said that what he would do as a kid is take caramel popcorn.
And put it in milk? Listen, I get it. It's like savory.
So I was crazy for saying King Vitamin or O's or something like that. Like, I love a fun off-brand cereal. And this bastard was putting caramel popcorn and milk, and everyone thought that I was a maniac. So this reminded me of that. I feel like if they made it been warm or something, they were too thick. First of all, there wasn't enough filling. It wasn't giving what it's supposed to give.
It wasn't good.
It didn't give what it's supposed to go. It felt like a dare.
I really didn't enjoy that.
I think it was a dare because the thing is, you make them with sesame oil, so the sesame oil was like in the milk.
Or I think the version that we had, so every rice cake isn't the same.
Right.
So every rice cake maker makes it differently. So we grabbed these from Galleria Market. They're really good on its own, but again, I don't know what possessed people to put milk in it, but
TikTok.
Yeah, no.
It's a water challenge. It's we ate Tide Pods. We basically
that just wasn't good. But I thought that'd be a little fun thing to do. But
we ate Tide Pods, and then I've been on the road. I just got back, so I was in Pennsylvania doing a show, and then I went down to New Orleans to see one of my friends.
Nice.
And then I went to New York to do a corporate gig for Nordstrom's. I hosted a game show for their anniversary sale.
Oh, nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then I was in Baltimore over the weekend with Eagle Wit. Love him. He's an amazing comedian. And while we were headed to Amtrak, I was on the Amtrak train. I was waiting for Eagle, and my friend Josh Johnson comes walking.
Oh, I saw that in your story. You're ran into Josh. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So I was on the train looking for Eagle.
Yeah.
And since I was sitting there looking at my phone or just gazing out the window, we saw each other, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm headed to Baltimore. He's like, I got shows in DC and Baltimore. My opener can't come. Do you want to? And so he's like, okay, cool. And so he texts me, he's like, hey, my opener can't come. Do you want to do the show on Sunday? I was like, absolutely. But yeah, we're going to do our live show for the finale of Marry My Husband.
Yes.
We want to do a live show, and it's going to be here in LA. We're still trying to find a place to do it. It's going to be in September.
Yep.
And I don't know if we should do it where we're talking about the episode, or should it be a watch along thing? I think it'd be better if we're just talking about the episode.
I think we need to talk about it. I think if it's a watch along, it's a little bit complicated.
Chrissy, how are you? Did you do any marathons lately? Did you run anywhere? Girl, she be running like she's... I'm going to tell you something. You never gonna be on Dateline. Nobody's ever gonna have a podcast about you because you run so much. Ain't nobody gonna hop out the woods and kill you, girl. You are too fast.
I am absolutely not fast. I am not fast at all. I go at a very comfortable pace.
Okay.
So I ran
But you can outrun somebody trying to murder you because they're really short spurts, right?
Yes, I guess I could.
Yeah, it's you going for the distance, right? He's not for distance. He's just trying to be quick and murder. You no, you got to catch me.
I had the Nike After Dark half marathon. This was last week.
That's a 13.1
miles.
See, I know stuff.
But this is a all women's race, which was very fun, and it was in Inglewood. So it started at SoFi. It was a whole thing. The race was fun. Yeah, and then what else? Yeah, and I went to a protest. I protested in LA.
What the crazy thing was when people were asking me, like I was out on the East Coast, people were like, so what's going on with the riots and all that? I was like, there's not riots.
It's not a riot.
It's not a riot. When the military is attacking you,
Ain't a riot.
When the government is attacking you, a riot is civil unrest. When the citizens are tearing up shit. When government agencies are attacking citizens, it's called authoritarianism. But that's why terms and words are important, because it wasn't a fucking riot. So Christina was running.
Oh, Chrissy. I go by Chrissy.
I apologize, that's her stage name. So Chrissy was exercising and then exercising her constitutional rights. I was telling jokes to tens of people.
You were making money.
Yes,
you were
I was
working.
I was working.
You were working.
I was trying to make sure I keep the lights on in my house. That's what I was doing. But I'm glad y'all are here today because all of the drama of your half marathon, all of the drama of the protests,
yes,
all of the non-drama going on with moi, but the soju of it all is that we, in our drama chase for this day on this good evening, we are diving into episode 3 of Marry My Husband, and it's titled A Bittersweet Reunion. And it's an hour long, which after dealing with Queen of Tears,
delicious, love it,
and literally watching the Lord of the Rings length episodes that lady was out here writing,
too much,
giving us full Scorsese,
too much.
An hour long drama is giving us actually honestly throwback.
It's actually quite lovely, and it's easier to recap, yes. It's easier to outline, yes. But beyond that, as a viewer, it is incredibly pleasant because you can really fly through them. And but you can really just
But they meaty.
They're so meaty. So much happens.
Because there's a few there's key moments.
Okay, yes.
One, Jiwon gets her glow up.
Yes, of course.
And if there's anything that TV shows all over the world love, it is, remember when Ugly Buddy stopped being ugly?
Yes.
And remember when Betty LaFaya stopped being ugly, because that's what Ugly Betty is based on, is a telenovela.
Yeah.
And so we love a glow up. We all saw Miss Congeniality 2.
One of the best glow ups ever in that little warehouse.
And what's so crazy is that she wasn't busted to start with. She didn't have glasses on.
She was just stunning.
All they did was just give her conditioner.
Yeah.
And some mascara. Because look how ugly she is. I was like, Sandra who? Ugly where? Let's not do that. She ain't had a carb since Reagan. So she gets her glow up. She goes to her high school reunion and has a showdown with her bullies in the bathroom.
In a bathroom, because that's where you gotta meet your bullies. And if
anybody is getting bullied, it's in a bathroom.
Yes.
Jiwon's first love. Eunho shows up. And sexy. This name.
It's sexy bujang-nim, Darcy-nim. We have 2 nicknames for him. I have sexy bujang-nim dash Darcy-nim.
So basically, the antithesis of future Nim.
He's not future Nim.
We're happy about this show because, let me tell you something. The last episode ended with Minhwan being naked as a jaybird.
He is naked.
Fresh out her shower.
She acts like she's never seen him naked before, which is the most hysterical part.
Well, because when you went back in time, you was married to him when you died. You went 10 years back in time. You were still in a relationship with him. So her level of surprise to seeing him naked, because he wasn't naked. He was butt ass naked. You understand? Also, I cannot remember the last time a man came fresh out the shower and was like, good evening. Honestly, girl, I would love
just a man to walk out of a shower naked.
What it take? Be like, have a good, welcome to my, like, just take a nice little.
I don't think I've ever had that.
A man just be naked dancing?
Dancing naked?
Yes.
Yeah, they're naked, but not like presenting themselves in that way.
Oh, girl, I love a man presenting. A man fresh out the shower, happy to see you, just naked, come with like a little song in his heart. Girl, a man that's happy about that, he knows he's about to drop it off. Girl, it's my face. It's like,
Anyways.
You've never had any?
No, I had no man swinging. No.
I didn't go talk about swinging now. But I've seen that as well. They'll throw it in a circle.
Anyways, this guy was trying to swing.
He's
swinging, she's screaming, and then Saved by the Bell. The doorbell rings, okay?
I know she's never been so happy to have chicken come to her house.
And this chicken delivery guy's a little weird.
He's odd.
I was a little like, what's happening? Because
it was very interesting.
Minhwan's like, we didn't order chicken.
He's like, are you sure?
He's like, are you sure? And he keeps on pushing, and he's like, just get out of here. So Jiwon uses the opportunity, right? Takes the opportunity and kicks them both out, basically.
Yes, but
right?
he's barefoot.
And
so he gets just far enough from the door for her to be able to toss his shoes out.
Yes.
Because I was sitting there going, Lord, because I'm calculating it. Because as somebody who's had to get out of a place quickly, it's like, how is she? Because if she cracks the door a little bit, he's going to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
I was so worried for her.
Yeah. And then he texts her. Oh, no. He's screaming at her, and he's just like, he goes, you're nothing to look at anyway. And then he immediately apologizes. And I'm just like, what is this person? He's like schizophrenic.
Girl,
he gets so upset. He gets pouty.
It's like when a man asks you for your number and goes, you was ugly anyway.
Oh, my God.
Sir.
Get a life. Get a life.
I was just fine 30 seconds ago.
And then then you find out that Jihyuk is in the corner. So this is like the equivalent of what's her face of Queen of Tears gal. Heeyeon always in the corner listening.
Oh, behind some foliage?
Yes.
Hearing something she don't need to hear?
Jihyuk is always in the corner now, and he's like watching. So it turns out that the chicken delivery guy is his friend, and they're like plotting. And I'm like, okay, sure. Okay.
But it's interesting because how did he know that Minhwan was at the house? So he was sitting up outside plotting because he sent the chicken delivery man.
Yes, he did.
Now, I know I've had Uber Eats come to the wrong door before.
Yes.
And once you say this ain't mine,
they leave. They're like, okay.
All right. Let me call somebody.
Nope.
But it is scary when you're just sitting in your house by yourself and somebody knocks and it's 9:30. You're like, hey.
Yeah. Even with food. But again, we love Jihyuk, right? Sexy bujang-nim, Darcy-nim. He is good looking. He's attractive. But again, if you take a step back, if this man was ugly, we'd be like, stalker.
Listen, I was friends with a man who said to me the difference between some dude being creepy and him not being creepy is if you're attracted to him.
Yeah,
or not.
it's true. It's very, very true. And
as a woman who's been creepy before,
I
can tell you that's
a
true.
Little creepy.
Listen, I love being a creepy woman.
Listen,
he doesn't work on everybody.
Well, I think women in general. I think we talked about this like during Queen of Tears. But you give me a name, and you give me like an hour, I will find out anything about that person.
I am not good at the online school of general. I'm not good at the online school of general investigation.
Oh, I'm so good.
I used to have friends for that. Like I would just be like, "Here's his name." Go. But it only works for a certain type because my mom tried to stick me and my friends with some dude, but he was too old.
Yeah, you were the church guy.
Yeah, the church guy.
And you found church content.
We found church. All we could find was church
videos.
And it's like, but he's not a vain older man. Because there's nothing more crazy than like a 70-year-old man who has way too many pictures on Facebook.
It's a little...
Like, sir.
You know, my dad loves taking pictures. My mom loves taking. Have you noticed older people love pictures?
Because they have a memory.
And they said that they take pictures of themselves. My dad loves taking like when we went to Hawaii like 2 years ago with my mom. It was like me, my mom, and my dad. The three of us. We went on a cruise. The amount of photos I had to take of them solo. My dad's like, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, can we just move on?
I love an old person taking a picture.
He loves a good photo. And I'm like, what are you going to do with all these photos?
They're in the phone, doesn't matter.
And then he like told Thomas to make like a video.
Thomas made a collage video of him of his vacation.
And he had to do it. Thomas had to do it. It was so funny. It was like a gift.
So he storms off. You're nothing to look at, but then he immediately apologizes. A manipulator move, right?
I would say yes. He gets really angry too.
Well, didn't she remember him hitting her?
That too, but even his reaction to the chicken delivery guy, he's crazy. Like I think Minhwan truly is a very scary character. His temper. Anyway, sorry, your question.
So like, but I think that it is a classic manipulator move, but it was like, but why do you think she stayed with him for so long, even though he was mistreating her? Is it because her dad had died and all she had was Soomin?
I don't know. I think I don't think it happens in this episode, but in the next episode, there's a flashback to when they first started dating and with Soomin and stuff. And I think you see a little bit more of like her past, of who Jiwon was in the past. And yeah, I think she was just like a weaker person. She was just meek. And I think she just went along with things. And maybe he was the only person in her life. Her dad had died. So I think she just kind of went along with it. And I think it took a big action, like a big thing, which was
death,
him trying to kill her, or him killing her. I think that's what triggered it. But it is interesting because I think the current Jiwon that we have now, she's not that at all.
Well, she had to die, and then and then she had to be brought back.
That makes sense, yeah. But I think she was with him because, I think she just...
Do you think she told Soomin that he was hitting her?
No, I don't think so. I don't think she said anything. I think she's too scared I think she was too scared to bring it up. I don't think she ever truly told people how she felt. Again, you see this all in flashbacks, but she was just very like, she kept everything internal. Like she just kept it all inside.
But after seeing like the bullying that she went through and seeing like, Soomin like treating her how she treated her, like when you start seeing more and more things that happen in the past, I do wonder, because like even if you look at their relationship in the future, it's just like for her to cheat on her, for her to talk to her the way that she did the day that she died, I feel like that if she had told Soomin that her boyfriend was abusive to her, I don't think she would have done anything.
Also, she just didn't know any better. I think there was an element of like, she was not dumb, but she was very naive. Because she talks about it in this episode when she's talking to Jihyuk, when she's talking to sexy bujang about her past. She's just like, I think there was or maybe it was this episode or the next, but she tells him, she's like, I don't know how to judge people.
Right.
Right. And she's like, and I'm trying to get better at that. And this is the perfect example. Like she stayed with the guy who was clearly abusive. Maybe she didn't know any better.
You also can't think, like, I also stayed in a relationship for too long because I couldn't see better for myself than this man.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you can't see better for yourself in a situation, then you can't get out of it. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, well, this is the best that I can do. Yeah. So it's almost, so like, I think this resonates with people so much because it's like we all wish that, like, because that's why I'm so glad when I learned the phrase, I made the best decision that I could based off the information that I had at
that time. Right. Also, if you think about it too, this was 10 years ago. She was young, she dies like, I forget how old she was, like 30.
40, no, she's
41 when she dies. So this is when she was 31, 25. You don't know any better when you're younger.
If I had a better sense of myself, like things that happened to me in my 20s would have never happened to me now. Yeah. Yeah. Then you learn. And I think for her though, because she was kind of in her cocoon, in her world, like she only had these two people who were clearly very toxic. She never had the chance to really grow and learn from that because she just kind of stayed, she stayed stagnant. But speaking of her past, so there's a scene where we learn or we meet Eunho, Baek Eunho, who happens to be Jiwon's first love. We don't know it at this point, but Jihyuk, sexy bujang Darcy-nim, goes and finds this guy. Okay. The lips on this man.
Okay, so this guy was an idol. He is an idol.
He better be.
He is in a boy band.
He better be.
He's in a boy band called they're called Highlight now, but they used to be a group. Their old name was Beast. I used to love them. And they're a little bit older. They're like in their 30s now, I think. But their group, a lot of them are actors. But
because he's the cutest little thing.
Oh yeah. His name is Lee Ki Kwang. And he looks so different in this drama. Like, that's what when I first watched this, I was like, oh my God, I think that's the guy from Beast. And then,
Don't tell me he got work done.
I mean, they all have a little bit of work done. But
so them aren't his lips?
He looks different. He still is very cute, but he was super cute.
But what if this is his man face?
Maybe.
I can tell you, as someone who's been looking at men my whole life.
I know they change as they mature. They look different. They grow into their features.
Did you ever watch Star Trek?
I'm not a Trekkie.
Okay, but did you ever watch any episode of like when Star Trek: The Next Generation first started, compared to when it's later? I couldn't
tell you anything.
Okay, listen. If you look up Jonathan Frakes, the first season, it's like when you look on the actors, the first season of a show compared to the 6th season of a show.
It's like a Michael Cera.
He looks the same to me.
Oh, I think he's kind of older now looking. I'm like,
what?
Michael Cera looks a little older.
His hair just looks more unkempt.
I love Michael Cera.
Girl.
He's so cute.
He makes me itchy.
Really?
Girl, yeah, he makes me nervous.
Eunho is talking to his friend, and they're talking about whether he's going to go to his high school reunion or not.
Oh, his very odd...
Just like random...
That was the weirdest conversation.
That felt forced. And this is when I'm like, the writing feels a little stilted because you're like, okay.
His friend and him I felt like I was watching two different shows. His friend was so worked up and so unnecessarily aggressive. And he was just chopping vegetables.
So then we find out that Jihyuk had approached Eunho, came to his restaurant and was telling him, hey, there's a high school reunion, you need to go. Mm-hmm. And then Eunho's like, who the f*** are you? But sure. Okay. And then at first there's a scene Eunho thinks Jiyuk's like hitting on him. He's like, I have a girlfriend, like leave me alone. He's like, no. You should go. You should go to a high school reunion.
But that like ring that he wears, like he's like, I wear this ring so women don't talk to me. And like here, like it seems like they're 10 years out of high school. Because they're more than 10 years out of high school. Because
they are because this is they're 31.
Yes.
So they are definite. So it's a 10-year reunion. Yeah.
Way out. So it's a 10-year reunion. Yeah. They're way out of high school.
Yeah.
And so it's like late 20s, early 30s. Uh-huh. Whenever, I don't know if this is, because I guess TV has only taught me that only men hold on to these long loves. Like you love one girl in one high school and then something happens. Because like in television, like in American TV, you don't see a woman pining after some man.
Well, I think it's because I think women tend to like, when you face heartbreak, right? I think women really process it. They like really go through it. So they really heal from it. It takes them longer, right? But I think men tend to just kind of move on very quickly and they don't really heal themselves.
Oh, because they're not taught to do that because they're taught that it's weak.
Yeah. So they just go like, I'm over it, and they go on to the next one. So that's why they're fucking pining after all these like women like for 20 years or whatever.
And you're also being punished for that girl that broke his heart.
Oh yeah, every time. Oh, that's my favorite. Yes.
This girl in high school,
this girl cheated on me, so you know. And I'm like, okay, so that makes you what, Trisha? Also,
we see the flashback where he looks at Jiwon.
We don't know if it's Chu. He looks at Jiwon and Soomin.
Right.
So we're just kind of like, you know, and then he's like,
I never want to talk to you again.
And everyone's like,
these very dramatic high school moments. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. So we go from that. And then we've got Jiwon's glow up and the reunion, right?
Yes.
And so she decides, because we have to remember, she remembers the first time she went.
Yeah. The first time she went, it's so sad. So
it's so ugly. It's so ugly. But she's like, I ain't got no clothes.
She really doesn't. She lays out these outfits and it's literally like black t-shirt, gray t-shirt, black sweater, gray sweater.
Girl, I've never seen a waste of a vanity like that. She pulled that drawer open and I was just like...
She had two things. She had a lip gloss and then she had the eyeshadow that's purple. Like...
She had purple eyeshadow.
Like this color purple.
She had purple eyeshadow.
Oh my God. So
I don't know who's selling... whoever sold her purple eyeshadow needs to be fought in the street. So she's got outfits ain't popping. She ain't got no makeup. She ain't got nothing. And she's got that giant scrunchie.
Yes.
Pulled back. Mind you, Soomin's texting her, acting like she was the one that got done wrong.
Right, because she basically, so the night before, if you remember, in the last episode, Jiwon was trying to set her and Minhwan up. You know, she was trying to get them to meet. And then Soomin got mad because she's like, you didn't text me back. You're being cold and distant. So she's still mad at her. And she's like, you're being weird, blah, 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 blah. You better make it up to me on Sunday.
Because you have to remember, she goes to the store and buys whiskey. And it's like, will this get you drunk? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, that much whiskey will get you dead. So... that's why she ends up with Minhwan.
It's actually the same night. This is happening on the same night.
All the same night.
It's all the same night. Yeah.
So she's trying to
she's kicked out Minhwan.
She kicked out Minhwan because it was like Minhwan, because she was like, because it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Soomin's like, I'm coming over. Minhwan's like, I'm coming over. And she's like, I'm going to buy a bunch of whiskey and not be at my house.
Yeah.
And then she gets there and Dum-Dum's in the shower and now Soomin doesn't come over and she's like, yeah. And so she's like, okay, what do we do now? And so now Soomin doesn't come over, but she's like, you better make this up to me. You better make this up to me. And I was like, what is she making up to you? You sound weird. See, and this is when... So one of my friends, I saw her when I was in Baltimore over the weekend. And she was talking about this girl that they were all friends with. Mm-hmm. But then that girl in different ways had, like, you know, disrespected them and all their... Like, each friend had a story with her. And they ended up being friends with her. But one thing that was interesting is she was talking about, like, yeah, she got real clingy. And she would talk to me. She would text me weird stuff. And this other girl was like, yeah, me too. And I was like... It sounds like she was dating y'all. And they were like, yeah. And so everyone was sitting there talking. And it was just like, oh, and then I was looking at all the girls and I was like, well, she got a type. Because all three of y'all are the same type. And everyone's just like, oh my God, that's a very man thing to do. That's a very man thing to do. That's a very like relationship-y. Because like she f***ed up one girl's birthday and f***ed up another girl's birthday. And we know anything about a man, he will f*** up your birthday.
It's
so this all this stuff with her and Soomin, it's like this doesn't feel like friend stuff. It feels like whenever you see Minhwan texting her or Soomin texting her, and it's like
both are being possessive,
right? But she calls her the other half,
my panchok.
So it's just like, are we in? It's very line crossy.
Yeah, it just shows that I think Soomin's character, she is just incredibly controlling and. She just needs to have someone. I mean, she's truly a narcissist too. Like, she just needs to control Jiwon. She just needs to control her.
She don't got nobody else?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't, because she's also insecure. And I think she senses weaker people and she knows Jiwon is weak, but it's not normal. None of this is normal. So this kind of goes back and forth in a weird way. So they like fast forward to the reunion, right? Because
it jumps quick.
It jumps very quick. It's kind of weird the way they did it, but it jumps over because Soomin is heading over to the barbecue, right? And she looks really cute. She has her her fake Authentique earrings,
which is what a funny fake Authentique.
And then in that fast flash forward or whatever, she goes, her classmates are super excited to see her. And you can tell that people love her. She's popular, all of that. She sits down and then she tells the table that she is basically like an assistant manager at this company. And Jiwon is a contract worker, which is the complete reverse, right? So she's like setting up this lie. And then you see the scene of Jiwon walking in and everyone's like, because she has her makeover, right? But then it jumps back again.
Shoes are so high.
She looks so good.
She looks
so good.
Gorgeous, but her ankles and her shoes are like, she's just a... Yes. If that girl whistled, she'd fall down.
Yes. And then you go back again. Now it's a flashback. And Jiwon is still getting ready for the reunion, right? And she goes to the Authentique store and she looks at the window. She pulls out the ones that Soomin bought her. And she can tell that the ones she has are fake, real fake, ugly fake.
Like beauty supply store fake.
Like really, really fake.
Oh.
Right? But then Heeyeon pops over and she's just like,
savior.
Hello. And then she sees her carrying the other earring, and Heeyeon's like, oh, those are fake. Those are fake. Those are fake.
She said it's very obvious that they're fake.
It's very obvious
She said anyone who's ever seen these earrings are going to know that you're fake. Don't wear these in public. They're going to know that they're fake.
Yes. And then this gets Jiwon going, and she's like, oh my God, Soomin she planned this all along.
She a bitch. Una perra.
Which is insane. Think about what this means. Your friend invites you to go on a date without telling you that it's your high school reunion. Mm-hmm. You were terrorized in high school
by these people
because
she told them things.
Right. But then the friend also gifts a pair of earrings
that are very fake.
But
so you can wear them in front of the most judgmental people you've ever met.
Yes, with the very sweet note being like, "You're my other half. Please wear
I have a
these."
matching pair too.
Insane, insane. You know,
it's too much. You flash back to Soomin gifting Jiwon matching accessories, right?
Right. So this jumps back again because my God, this is 2011 now.
Yes.
So it's even before.
Right.
And yeah, so Soomin meets her at a park, gives her matching berets.
White berets.
They put the beret on, and clearly the beret looks cute on Soomin, but it looks weird on Jiwon.
Because she doesn't know how to wear it. And her friend does not teach her how to wear it.
Right.
And also, we have to admit, the beret doesn't look good on everyone. It's an odd hat, if we must remember.
I like a good red beret.
I have an afro.
That's true. I like a little, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you look adorable.
I look pretty good in hats. I like hats.
Listen, I have a big head.
So I have a big head. I have to wear men's hats.
I didn't know I didn't know there were different sizes.
Oh yeah, men's, women's are small for small heads.
I can say now that they make baseball caps where the back for afro hair.
Oh, that's cute.
So now the whole back is out, and then there's like elastic thing. So the movie that I did last year, the Salamander King.
Yeah.
I think it's out now. I'm not sure, but it's like the whole front of a hat, and it's even the brim of the hat. But then in the back, you can have like your afro out.
Oh, that's cute.
So I've never been a baseball hat person because I always wanted to be one of those girls that had like the pony. I always loved the ponytail sticking out the back of the baseball cap. But when my hair was straight, it was long, but then I realized I didn't like. Now trucker hats, I love the trucker hat. I was that girl. Absolutely. I stayed in a Walmart getting a brand new trucker hat every week because the Gainesville Walmart always kept a truck. I had a whole collection of shits. I don't know where they are. Okay. But Soomin gets upset.
This part was crazy. Oh, because she
wanted
the candy, right?
The gummy candy. And she was like, how do you not have my gummy candy? You knew we were going to meet up today. How do you not have this? And like, Jiwon's so apologetic. But then Minhwan steps in and he was just like, oh, I got your gummy candy. Don't you? And that's why you were like, oh, this feels like a throuple. One, this feels like a throuple. But two, I think that was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy to foreshadow on a flashback when I already know the future in the first episode.
It's just
so to foreshadow me like this, but also it's like it's the seeds of if this was happening in 2011, then 2023,
yes,
makes perfect sense.
And then you can see like they were always a threesome, like a throuple, basically, because you always had Soomin there. Minhwan was always there. Soomin was always included. It was always the three of them. And then you watch this weird thing where like Soomin and Minhwan walk off and like Jiwon is like carrying everything.
All of the things.
And I'm just like,
it made me sad. It made me sad because it's just like, oh, you really can't see you're being mistreated. And sometimes it's like when you're in friendships or in relationships, and you, in the moment, you don't see you're being mistreated because you're like, oh, this is just how this is.
Yeah.
And then when you're out of it, you're like,
yeah, it was the norm for her.
I was being done dirty.
For this week's segment, we're going to be breaking down the actors and the actresses. So this week it's going to be Baek Eunho, our lead character, Jiwon. Okay. So Baek Eunho is my age. She was born March 4th, 1986. So she is 39 years old.
Cute.
She did study, and I think we talked about this, but she did study abroad. She studied in Philly in high school, and she apparently got really, really homesick. And for college, she begged to go back to Korea, which she did. And then she went to university there, and then she started working.
I could understand how she could get homesick in Philly.
I don't know why she was in Philadelphia.
Perfect sense to me.
Right. And her English name was Raquel Park. So she goes by Rachel Park for So when she's doing English roles or she's auditioning, I think she goes by Rachel Park. I think she's probably one of the most hardworking actresses in Korea. She has been in a drama. So her first drama where she got really popular, she was in a sitcom called High Kick, Unstoppable High Kick. It was actually, it took Korea by storm. It was a very popular sitcom. It was comedy. She was there and she started doing that in 2006. And since then, she has been in a drama. Since 2006, she has done one drama per year. Which is
blessing.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
What a blessing.
And
I tried to start this show.
High Kick?
No. What is it? Soon.
Oh, 성경관 Scandal. So good. It's one of my favorites.
It starts very slow.
It's super cute. I
want to finish it, but it started so slow.
I think you would like it. It's
I'm trying to watch a historical because
it's a fun one because there's a lot of cute boys in it. A lot
of
little
cute boys.
Yeah. But she plays she's a not cross dressing, but she plays a man.
Woman disguising herself as a man.
They love the Haguks love that trope.
Yes.
It's always a woman dressing up like a man.
But what I love is the conversation where it's just you can't be in love with him. He's a man. And then, but everyone kind of goes, okay. So it's do you all figure out that this was a woman? Or are you just trying to be a little bit, or is it we're just kind of open-minded?
So that was probably the one that, in High Kick, she got popular from that. But then 성경관 Scandal was really popular. She was in City Hunter with Lee Min-ho. That was popular. And then the big one was probably Secretary Kim, which we all know.
I tried to start it and I was
with Park Seo-joon?
I couldn't get, I was I kind of started it, but I think I started watching something else and I forgot to go back to it.
It's so good. And then there was another one, Her Private Life. And then after, I feel after Secretary Kim, she started doing very similar roles. She played the ingenue in all these rom-coms, right?
Oh, you're getting typecast now.
Private Life was very similar. Forecasting Love and Weather was a little bit different. Love and Contract, that was also similar. But she's been doing these every year. And the Marry My Husband was her last big one, right? So I'm curious to see what she comes out with, what she's in next. But when she first came out, people didn't think she could act very well.
But she's a pretty girl, so we're going to let her do much.
But then I do believe, though, she's hardworking. I think she's gotten so much better. So the Park Min-young we see now, I think she is just I think she's a good actress now.
I love that.
I think she's very talented. She's known for really good diction. She did have a little weird, not a weird scandal, I don't know, but she was dating a rather sketch man. So she was dating a guy in 2022. So Dispatch is kind of TMZ in Korea. They break everything.
I hate those websites.
Yeah, so they reported that her boyfriend, he was a businessman. He was exposed for major financial crimes, including embezzlement. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Embezzlement. He had fake IDs. He had links to a mafia.
Korean mafia?
Yeah, it was weird.
What's it called?
I don't know. He had 깡패's basically. I don't even know.
Listen, y'all be making all these comments we don't need. Somebody tell me what the Korean mafia is called, because we've got the Yakuza, we've got the triads, and there's no way the Koreans don't have.
There has to be a name. I just don't know.
Or they're so good at it
that you don't know the name.
That Westerners don't know what it's called.
She kept quiet for a while. She didn't come forward, but I believe after at a Marry My Husband press conference, she apologized publicly and then she broke up with him. People were there's shenanigans, and they didn't know whether she was involved or not. I don't think she was involved. She just dated the wrong guy. Who knows? But you know how Korean people are. They get really, worked up about scandals.
Well, you also have to remember, when a man does something wrong, it's a woman's fault.
So it was this whole thing. So that was one scandal, but in real life, though, I think she did date Eunho, if I remember correctly. They were dating when they were younger, like back in like the 2010s. And then there are rumors that Park Seo-joon and her dated, but I don't think they did. But it's kind of funny. But other Easter eggs. She's really good friends with Jessica Jung. Jessica from Girls' Generation. It's a K-pop group. She has a Bentley. Good for her.
Bentayga.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you don't listen to rap music. That's an expensive ass car.
Okay, good for her. But again, she's been working every year since 2006.
I
Give her all of it. Yeah, but no, I think she's a beloved rom-com actress. Again, she works really hard. She's never you never not see her. She's all over Netflix. I feel like she's probably in like 10 Netflix dramas. Jiwon meets up with Heeyeon the next day, right? Or this is the same day. I don't even know because they're going back and forth.
These days got 72 hours.
So anyways, this is a Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. On Saturday, she meets Heeyeon and they go out and they eat tteokbokki.
The casting on Heeyeon.
I love her.
I want to see
Choi Cutie is her name, I think. Choi Cutie. She's Choi.
I want to see her audition
Adorbs.
tape.
She's
I want to
fucking adorable.
I want to see the audition
I think
tape.
she's so cute. So they're eating tteokbokki and drinking soju. And this was interesting because Heeyeon's like, oh, 대리님, I didn't know that you drank because I thought you didn't drink. And Jiwon says, yeah, I stopped drinking because of an incident that happened to me a long time ago. And Jiwon's remembering. She's like, oh, and she flashes back, another flashback. And there's a weird moment where for a second we see it looks like
the silhouette of a man.
a silhouette of a man who kind of looks like sexy bujang, but we don't know.
Oh my God, is Darcy-nim our merch for this?
Darcy-nim, yes, he's so cute. But this is interesting because Jiwon also says, she was like, oh my God, back in the day, it's like a voiceover. She's like, in the past, I would literally not punish yourself, but you know when you experience something, you're like, I'm never going to do it again. I'm never going to do it again because I don't even know how to describe it. What is that? It's like you're so embarrassed because of your actions.
Avoidance.
You want to avoid it forever.
Listen, there's a reason why I have not had whipped cream vodka. Since the early 2000s.
I won't even ask. Whipped cream vodka?
Pinnacle put anything in a bottle. Pinnacle, you remember.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Girl, remember they would do the drink because remember Pinnacle used to have a Swedish fish flavored vodka? Pinnacle, if you had a flavor.
I want to throw up.
If there was a flavor that existed, Pinnacle put that bitch in a blue bottle. Do you understand? Because I remember they would do Pinnacle vodka, whipped cream vodka, and orange juice. And I remember getting sick off of that. I remember, in college, I remember drinking on a Wednesday and not getting up until Monday.
I did that with a bottle of tequila. What I was telling you earlier, this is why I can't do tequila because I was hungover for an entire weekend and I've never felt that bad in my entire life. And I was like, I'm never doing it again. And I never did it again. So they're chatting, right? Cute little conversation. And Heeyeon is so cute, whatever. So then Heeyeon decides to take Jiwon on a makeover. Yes. So Heeyeon takes her to her favorite
This is when
salon.
she should have known that girl was rich. This is when she should have. She's like, I've got points. You're like, what?
She's basically, what's his face? She's basically Hyunwoo, not knowing that Heeyeon is rich. It's the same thing.
This is, she's giving Chebol.
Yeah, she's giving Chebol vibes. The owner knows. The owner of the salon knows. And she's like, yeah, we got you. I'm going to use all my membership points. They're about to expire anyways.
She has membership points at a department store with a salon.
I think it was just a salon. It was just a salon, but yeah, it's like a whole thing. The Korean salons.
Anytime there's a membership at a salon, it's not cheap.
So she gets...
them Dominicans I used to go to ain't got no membership. the hairdresser I go to now, Tara ain't got no memberships.
So she tells the hairdresser that she wants to be reborn.
Because she was like, oh, trim a little. She's like, chop it. Because we all know cutting of hair.
Yes.
I've always wondered why.
Women cut their hair?
No, cutting of hair. You were in the Chosun era, you couldn't cut your hair.
Yeah.
if you look at like I believe like 6, they can't cut their hair. Mm-hmm. So it's like just different cultures. There's something about your hair. Mm. Like I have friends friends I've had that have locks and they cut their locks off. Mm-hmm. It's like a huge, like there's always like a big change in your life.
Yeah, it's like the Felicity episode where Felicity chops her hair off.
Oh, I saw a thing online. It was like it's the only show that got canceled by a haircut.
Yeah,
because from her to go from purple eyeshadow and an ugly lip gloss to having the perfect mascara. The mascara done, the cheeks, because she has a gorgeous face.
Yes.
She has a beautiful face. She has beautiful features.
Yes.
And so there's some faces where like some faces need makeup.
She doesn't need makeup.
And then makeup needs some faces. You see what I'm saying?
Most Korean actresses do not need makeup.
Which is why it bothered me so bad when Psycho Ajushi's makeup was beaten up so bad.
I know. Psycho Ajushi. Have you seen him recently? He's doing the Squid Game 3 promotions right now. He's lost a lot of weight.
Lost weight?
He's lost weight.
Lost weight?
Yeah, there was a photo that I posted on socials of him. I'm like, oh no.
No.
Someone give him some tteokbokki. You know what I mean?
Girl,
he needs to fatten himself up. I just like, don't understand.
Where's Harmony?
You need to check. Yeah, just look at it later. But he's very, very thin in it. I'm just like, I don't like it.
That's
Maybe
gross.
he was stressed because he was kind of not canceled, but you had that weird ass scandal.
Oh, because like scandal. But it's because we do have to. So it's like the makeover is always like truly the whole plot of She Was Pretty. But I feel like that makeover she does. So do you think that like symbolizes like an emotional and like psychological makeover for her?
Yeah. I think she's like ready. I think at this point she's already been killed. She's come back to life. She's looking at her life. She's seeing all these psycho people. Like you have Minhwan, you have Soomin. Everyone's like bothering her, and she's like, "Get me out of here! Like I need to be reborn. I don't want this anymore. This is bullshit. I want to be pretty. I want to be confident. I want to be a new person." So I think she was ready for this.
Do you ever put makeup on if you're like in an uncomfortable situation as a way to like? Because I will literally like if because I've been in situations where it's just like I was gonna see someone I didn't want to see. I was gonna see a man I probably didn't want to see, and I literally was like, "Oh, I'm going to war today. Let me put my makeup on." Because for me, I think sometimes it's like I'm going to be in a truly uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to war.
Interesting.
So let me get ready. So I'm putting my jewelry on. I'm putting on my smell good. My hair is going to be perfect. And I'm going to and my makeup's going to be fucking flawless. Because so for me, sometimes it's like, it's putting on an armor sometimes. So sometimes makeup's like an accentuating thing. But I feel like sometimes, because like when she comes into
the reunion, yeah,
the reunion,
that's armor.
That's armor.
That's armor. Oh,
and
yeah.
so I've been in that situation before, where it's just like, oh, no one came to play with you, hoes. So let me go ahead.
Yeah,
it's like it's armor sometimes.
So my armor would be an outfit.
Okay.
I like, I like clothes. I spend a lot of money on clothes.
Oh, I don't.
I don't
this
anymore,
dress
but
was,
I used to.
Let me see.
Oh my God.
$15.
I
just realized the tag was still on because it was stabbing me in the back.
This was this was very weird. I was very confused. So we're back at Jiwon's house, right? Mm-hmm. She's in bed. She wakes up from a nightmare. Mm-hmm. The nightmare is like Minhwan killing her. She gets up. And then she reaches over, and then you see that Heeyeon's there. She's spending the night.
Which is always a fun friend thing.
Love the love a slumber party.
I've always wanted to have an event where like a bunch of my friends can sleep over, but all my friends are comics, so everyone's always on the road. But like I want to do like I want to do like a sleepover.
Adult sleepover, yeah.
Yes, I think it'd be fun.
It's very fun. But then like this is what confused me. It's like it's not even late. It's not even like that late outside, but they're already in bed.
It's like 11 o'clock.
I guess so.
But weren't they day drinking?
I guess so. Oh, yeah. So maybe they're having a little nap. But anyways, she looks over and then crazy green sleeves, right? Green sleeve manager, asshole. So he's texting her about the meal kit plan at 11 p.m. at night, which is bizarre on a weekend, but whatever. He's like, hey, I'm going to take another look at it. But this time around, why don't you work on it with Soomin? and the other manager, Yang, assistant manager Yang, right? Chudan is her name. So she's like, okay, whatever. And then she gets a text, I believe, right?
Oh, no, Soomin calls her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she calls her. And then she asks Jiwon to give her the meal kit idea. She's like, hey, since it failed for you, why don't you just give it to me and I'll resubmit it? And Jiwon's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Setting a hard boundary. She's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to work on it myself. I'm not going to give you anything. Right. And then she goes, also, friend, when we're at work, let's be professional. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like the fact that you are calling me casual. Like, you're super casual around me, calling me friend all the time, treating me like a friend. I am still above you, right? And on the totem pole.
And so, if there's anything that we know
in
about
Korean, especially Korean culture, it's like
Korean culture and Korean office culture.
Yes.
It is very much about a nim.
Yeah, a nim. She's just like, let's just, let's keep her boundaries, right? And then this is the part, who means such a bitch. This is what it translated to. Hangs up and she goes, I turn my back for 1 minute and she forgets what a loser she is.
Mm-hmm. And then she's touching the earrings.
Okay, she's just like, I can't wait to get her. Like, she's evil.
Yep.
And then she's texting her friends, right? Oh, the bullies are texting her. And she's like, can't wait to see you. She's like, yeah, ha, ha, ha. And then she goes back in to the restaurant. And then you find out that she's having dinner with the crazy manager, right? And they're plotting.
Right. They're plotting. But remember, she tells Jiwon, make sure you wear your earrings. Mm-hmm. Make sure you wear the earrings.
And then she's plotting with the manager, and then the manager has Jiwon's actual physical copy of the proposal. He crosses out Jiwon's name and gives it to her and be like, okay, this is yours to keep. And
also,
it's like, oh yes, I know.
My mom about jumped out of her skin.
So gross.
Because he licks his fingers and then gives her chicken.
Oh.
But mind you, he's like, it's so crazy because while they're having this conversation, he's like having these fantasies of like having a baby with her.
Oh, it's so like, okay.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch. So we are back at the reunion. Jiwon enters. Now we've gone through all of this. We've seen the makeover. We've seen Soomin trying
the main
event. We've seen the makeover. We've seen Soomin trying to steal her proposal. She's having dinner with the old boy. Like we know that the high school sweetheart is supposed to be showing up. Is supposed to be showing up at the reunion. We also have all of the memories and all the awful things that happened to her the first time she went to the reunion.
Yes.
So she comes in, hair chopped, in a white dress.
She looks,
to eat Korean barbecue is crazy.
Yeah, so
you already know she's not gonna eat.
Also, I was thinking to myself, why are these people so dressed up for Korean barbecue? Could you imagine the smell? And there was not a single ventilation system in that restaurant.
Nope.
I was like, oh Lord.
Can I tell you,
something's about to catch on fire.
I went to a hot pot place in San Jose.
Oh my God.
I
can't imagine.
It was massive. I don't know how much soup flies in this place.
Oh, it flies.
But I had my jacket.
Yeah, and did they put it under your chair?
She came over with a slip cover.
Yeah. You have to
cover the jacket.
Yeah, of course.
Then we were at another hot pot place.
Yeah.
And then they gave us like aprons to put on our clothes.
Yep, you have to.
Because that soup flies everywhere. But, so she comes in, jaws drop, chopsticks hit the floor, knowing people are mouth open, mid-bite. Like, who is this baddie?
And these men who were being mean to her 10 years ago. Oh, they were mean to her in high school. But then 10 years ago in that reunion, they were being mean to her. They're now all of a sudden, oh my God.
Who is this?
Kang Jiwon, you look so good. What's happening? Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, girl, hey. And then the main bully, who...
Yeji.
Again, I don't know about this casting, but she looks like a bitch.
She looks like a bitch, but she's actually a really good actress. I was thinking to myself, she's pretty.
She's very pretty. She's pretty. So she accuses her of copying Soomin's earrings. Here's what I don't understand. They are sold in a store. if anything is mass produced and sold in a store, how am I copying anything when anybody in fucking Korea can buy these earrings? Like, that's what I don't understand. It's like, oh my God, she's copying her style.
That's true.
These clothes come from stores. Do you know how many other big bitches walked into a Rainbow and bought this dress? So, like, that's what I don't like. This whole situation bugged me.
It just makes zero sense.
But also, you know, they're best friends.
Yeah, of course. And my friends we buy the same stuff. They'll be like, is it okay if I buy it too? And I'm like, sure, just buy it.
That's what I did not get. And so, like, but someone points out Jiwons are real.
Soomin's are fake.
High quality fakes, but fakes. And then they humiliate Soomin.
They're also so mean to poor Soomin. Like, also, like, we don't like Soomin, but like, who the cares? It was hysterical. I was like laughing so hard.
I was like, it's giving private school energy. It's
it
giving
was just
like
bizarre. And Soomin is just fuming.
But the man who was like, oh, Jiwon, you look so pretty, is the same man who was like, wait a minute, them earrings is fake.
I
was like, thank you, sir.
And then we learned that Heeyeon, who had the original, like she had the real ones, right? She let Jiwon borrow the earrings for the reunion, which is very sweet because they're real good friends. Because
she was like, because she said, wait, she gave you these?
Yeah.
Why would she give you such obvious fakes?
And then she explains the level. This is true in like the fake world, right? You have levels of different fakes. So she was like, this is an F out of the fakes. This is like real fake shit.
Oh, this
is like Forever 21, like just like not, I don't even know where you would get like it's like beauty supply store. Like
that's what I said earlier. Beauty supply store fake.
Yeah.
It's like when they had like the FUBU shirts and they were so fake that it was P&B. We call them peanut butters because the F had curved so much it just became a P.
Then Jiwon decides to go. She goes to the restroom, right? Because this is a part of the plan. Because she had experienced this 10 years prior. So she is here to figure out exactly what Soomin was telling these girls to make these girls bully her the way that they did.
Hate her.
So she's like, I need to speak up. I need to figure this out. So she knows the timing. So she goes back. She like goes to the bathroom. And then she's in the stall waiting, right? Because in 10 years ago, what they did was like they kind of busted in. The bullies came in.
They kicked the door in.
They kicked the door in and they were like being really mean to her, right? This time around, no. Bullies come. And they're like, wait, hold on.
Because they're having a conversation just like 10 years ago. And they're like, Jiwon got up. Where did she go? Because she's in the stall. And 10 years ago, she's in the stall like, please come get me.
Yeah,
I got to get out of here. And Soomin's just at the table drinking her soju, being happy with herself. This time, she is in the bathroom.
Ready to go.
Waiting for these heifers.
Yes.
And it's the same conversation.
So then they go and they're, you know, like kicking each stall trying to find her. And then when they get to Jiwon's stall, she kicks it. She kicks the door first. And they're like, you know. And then she comes out, and I love this. I love this confident, kind of mean girl.
Yes.
I just love it. I was like cheering for her, right? And then she's basically tells them, she's like, what did I do wrong to you guys? Like, why are you, like, what is happening?
The is this for?
You know?
Why are you treating me like this?
And then the mean girls are just like, you copied Soomin's earrings.
Who gives a shit?
They say that she copied her earrings. Then they also say that this is crazy, that she is trying to steal Minhwan from Soomin because Soomin told them that she was in a situationship with Minhwan. Then they also say, oh, how can you do that to someone that got you the job as a contract worker at UNK? And then literally Jiwon's just like, okay, why would you believe one side of the story? Like, are you crazy? So she lays out all the receipts.
All of the and if there's anything that we love as a people, because we didn't used to call it receipts.
We never called it receipts.
But I love that now we have proof of purchase. I love now that we have a name for it because she shows her the gift card that came with the fake earrings from Soomin.
Yes.
And it looked all too fake. And then she goes through everything. So the bully's like, you stole her man. You only got her the job because of this. You only job because of that. She's like, oh, well, actually, I've been at UNK for 7 years. I'm an assistant manager. Here's my business card. Ain't nobody getting face business or printed out.
And then she goes, well, that could be fake. She's like, oh, is it? And
then Minhwan is my boyfriend. They're like, that's Soomin's boyfriend. You're like, okay, let me call him. Mind you, he's been at this campsite calling and texting this girl, and she ain't paying no mind. She calls him. Hello? Hi, my love. How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? All right. You're my boyfriend, right? He's like, of course I'm your boyfriend. What you mean? It's so great to talk to you. I miss you so.
And it's like, hey, can you say hi to my friends for me? So they're like, hello, we are Jiwon's friends. And he goes, oh, wow, I didn't realize that Jiwon had other friends, or friends other than Soomin. So he says Soomin, okay? And
then he tries to say more like I love you, and she hangs
just
up and drops the phone. Like, all right, bye.
And then they go outside. Then they proceed. The last point is, oh, things could be, what were they saying? They were like, oh, like, why are you going into detail with everything? Like, you're just like,
why
you're just picking at the details. Like, that doesn't need to be true. Like, but then there's one thing, right? You stole Eunho away from Soomin. And everyone's like, what? Right?
Mm-hmm. She's like, I didn't do that.
She's like, what are you talking about? And then...
Because they're like, the bullies are like, you need to apologize to everyone, but Jiwon yells back like they need to apologize to her because you terrorized me because of all these lies that Soomin spewed over the years, and y'all behave like this, right? So she's so upset because it's like, because now they're getting caught up in Soomin's lies.
Yes.
And now they're like, well, you're focused on the details. She's like, I'm not focused on the details. I'm telling you the facts. But now all of a sudden I'm telling you facts, and you want to talk about, we're talking about details. You need to apologize to me.
Yep.
You mistreated me. And so she stormed. And so,
Okay. And then, so basically they're still saying that Soomin, and then they asked Soomin, right? Soomin basically tells...
Because she's telling a lie, because it's like, well, but you still dated him.
Right. So Soomin's like, well, we dated in secret. Because Jiwon's like, you never dated him. What are you talking about? But Soomin lies very quickly. She's like, actually, we dated in secret and we just didn't want to tell you. Right?
Right.
But then guess who walks in? Eunho comes in and he's like, Jiwon, right? Oh my God.
Smiled so happy.
And then he goes, Soomin and I never dated.
She can't lie now.
She can't lie. Everyone's stunned. The bullies feel awful.
Face crack.
And it is just like, again, this is why this drama is so good. It's so cathartic in so many ways, because you have these things that are building up and then there's actual like resolution. And then she gets her revenge.
But what I like is that this isn't the last episode of the show and we're wrapping up things.
This happens.
This is
throughout.
episode 3.
Yes.
Where we get the resolution for this storyline.
Yes.
Because my girl what moment was the kicking in of stall doors. Because my mother was like, why didn't she just lock the door? Why she let them kick that door in on her like that? Because if I hear you 7 doors down,
I'm gonna lock it.
I'm gonna fucking lock it.
I know. And then what are they gonna do? They're gonna hop over the
there's to the ceiling and probably down to the damn floor. And then but then I remember us watching it, and it was like, well, now she's getting her. So it's like, now here's a confrontation, and then she kicks it out. And me and my mother was like, which direction do these doors swing?
I know. I was thinking that too, because it's like they're kicking. I guess it goes both ways.
It has to.
It's a loose door.
There must be 2 sides, because she's kicking it in and she's kicking it in, but also to continue. And then it was like, 1, it made me feel so sad for her the first time.
Yeah.
And 2, it makes you feel so much better for her the second time, because it's like, that had to be like a very empowering moment for her. Oh, yeah. Because before she could just cower in the back. And like she couldn't do anything. All these women, she was literally in the bathroom trying to figure out why Soomin did this to her. And she has these big fake ass earrings on because she has no clue why her friend is doing this to her.
And she didn't even know that her friend was doing this to her.
And she found this is 10 years
because right now, 10 years ago, she thinks Soomin just invited her to the high school reunion. We jump from the reunion and then we go to a scene with Jihyuk, sexy bujang-nim. He's meeting with the head of UNK, his grandfather. And basically the grandfather is upset because he wants Jihyuk to get married. Of course, you know, Chebol problems. They need to
Girl,
get
I wish I
married.
had somebody in my family trying to force me to get married to somebody.
It's like you need, if you're going to take over UNK as this like Chebol leader, you're going to need a good ally, a strong ally beside you. You need a strong woman to help you.
This
blah,
is
blah,
why
blah.
we've never elected. Like, it's like no one's electing a bachelor. Like, could you imagine if there was a single man running for president? Everybody would be like, no. What was that movie called based on this premise?
The American president.
I don't want my president on
It was Michael Douglas. I love that.
I don't want we were like, we don't need a president on Tinder. We don't need a president in Air France One trying to mac bitches. Like, no.
But
it makes sense.
But what was sweet in this moment is that the grandpa gets really upset and he like knocks the water down. And I think this is the scene where Jihyuk like wipes his like grandfather's hand with a napkin. He's like, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Calm down. And he tells him, he's like, actually, there is someone I like. And he goes, oh, who is this woman? He goes, it's one-sided. I have a crush on a woman. And he's like, okay. And then he tells his right-hand man who he shows up a couple times.
Let me tell you something.
He's a good-looking guy. He's good looking. Yeah, I feel like you would like him.
Oh, girl.
His name is Ha Do-kwon, and he is the head of UNK's strategic planning group.
His name is Daddy, is what his name is. Girl.
But of course, there's investigations because Chebols always have to hire people to investigate people.
Yes,
so he's
you
like, you need to tail this person and figure who this person
You can't let the impoverished into your family. You can't let people with a questionable past have access to all of this money.
Right.
If the chairman had investigated Musuhi,
there wouldn't have been a drama.
there wouldn't have been half that TV show.
But we also find that Jihyuk's dad also was like, I feel he was rebellious, so he went against the grandfather. And I believe he's already passed, and his Jihyuk's mother already passed too. So he's he's an orphan man. And then Jihyuk leaves, and then he's driving, right? And then there's a flashback of him telling Eunho to go to the reunion. Then he decides to drive to the barbecue spot. And perfect timing, this is when Jiwon rushes out because she's so embarrassed. Because when Eunho was like, hey, Jiwon, I'm here.
And he was
Did you like me? And he's like so excited. He's like, did you like me too? Like, you know, and he's like just ready. And she's mortified. And she like runs off.
Because she was never supposed to see him again. Because imagine the last thing he said to her was never speak to me again.
Yes.
And now he's so happy to see her. But then she just confronted all these people with Soomin lying.
Yes.
But it was like, but she was there to hear him say, Soomin and I never dated. And he was so happy to see her. Her brain probably just broke.
It's about to just break. So she runs off, right? Then
she didn't eat anything.
Jihyuk is there watching from his car. Then he's like, oh my God, why is she looking so good?
Beautiful.
Because... yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but he's basically, why is she so dressed up for this reunion? So he watches her. He gets out of the car.
He didn't know she was dressed for war.
Exactly. So then he follows her, and then Eunho is chasing, and then they're in front of Cheonggyecheon, which is like a park in the middle. So you see that stream thing,
and everyone's just like sitting there with their legs kicking and
shit. It's very popular in Korea. It is a park that runs through Seoul. It's actually
like
a lot
stream
of fun.
That's like,
so it's like you can walk there. It's like great. He runs out, grabs her by the wrist.
I remember watching a show with my mom, and she was like, "Yo, they say grabbing them by their wrist."
It is the trope. A man always has to grab a woman by the wrist, which is a bit odd, but okay.
Listen. Grab me, bro.
Sure.
Come get me.
And then he's like, I liked you. He like yells it out.
And people start applauding.
Everyone's clapping. And then Jihyuk watching in the corner, real upset. And he's like, what's happening?
But there was no trees. He's just standing in an open area. He's not hiding at all. He's also 6'3". So he's the tallest person with no covering.
He's such a stalker.
And then some fun song starts to play.
Oh, yeah. There's a really good needle drop, one of the songs. It's by an artist named Vincent Blue. I don't know much about this guy. We'll do another segment about the music. But the song is called 오늘부터, starting from today. Oh. It's actually kind of good. It follows a theme. Yeah. But it ends. And yeah,
Do you think he's gonna start a love triangle?
of course.
But the thing is,
You already see him. He's in the corner fucking like
but
stewing.
because it's like but it's almost like so she has to get rid of Minhwan. But then there's Darcy-nim, and then Eunho.
Eunho.
So it's like Eunho, Darcy-nim, Minhwan, and it's like it's a square, but she's trying to get Minhwan out.
I don't even think
He's not
Minhwan
even
is
part
part
of
of
the
it. He's just a villain.
He's a villain. Okay, so he's like
So it's a love triangle at this
it's an
point.
antagonist, but it's like, oh, maybe if Soomin had not messed up the high school, maybe he's who she is supposed to marry.
Yeah. And I think what it would have been very interesting what her life would have been like if she stayed with if her and Uno dated when they're younger. That'd have been interesting. You know?
Because it's like she lived really cautiously because of like one bad moment in the past.
Yeah.
So like she's getting the chance to go back, but it's like she has to basically she's like trying to correct all the awful stuff that Soomin did, and I think that's why people like this so much.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things you wish you could have gone back and done. I honestly think that's why somebody wants to invent a time machine. I don't think it's like, I'm going to go back and like fix this awful thing in history. No.
Yeah.
You want to go ask that girl out you didn't ask. You want to stick up for yourself in the situation when you felt like you didn't have any power.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you want to go sleep with somebody that you never. It's like, I don't feel like if we ever go back in time, I don't think it's going to be to help anything. I think it's going to be like sexual tourism. I think they're going to be like, remember that girl in high school that you never got to tell? Write yourself a letter. Write 15-year-old you a letter.
Yeah.
But it's like, you could also be, I mean, it's still a butterfly effect thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's why most people want to go back in time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's to help history or any other shit. People are going to let slavery happen as long as you got to talk to that girl you always liked.
It's to right the regret, if that makes sense. Right?
Next Wednesday, we are back to chase the 4th episode of Marry My Husband. And y'all, what do you think of the pod? Submit your questions, thoughts, rants, prayers, or whatever at chasingkdramas@gmail.com. We love to hear from you directly. We've been loving all the emails that y'all been sending us, and we're loving that so many of y'all are excited for us to be doing Marry My Husband.
I mean, I think everyone loves Marry My Husband.
Everyone loves this show. So I think we should be able to do, I think pretty soon we'll be able to do like a mailbag episode.
Yes, we're compiling everything. Or we have a bunch that I've been kind of posting some. I'll do a better job, but yes, we will do a special episode on that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So please give us some love and be sure to subscribe, review, rate, follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in. Also follow us at Chasing K-Dramas on Instagram and TikTok. We are now, I think as of today, we have 9,000 followers on TikTok.
We have 9,000 on TikTok, almost 9,500 on Instagram. So honestly, this past couple weeks, we recorded 2 weeks ago. It's been going up.
So, but we still need more subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
So thank you so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you for the next K-Drama Chase.
사랑해.
Chasing K-Dramas is hosted and executive produced by Dulcé, Sloan, and me, Chrissy Choi. I edit the audio and video, and our production is led by Thomas Jiwon from TY Media and Go Get 'Em Productions. Our artwork is designed by Yice Cream. We're an indie podcast, and we're always looking for fun partnerships. If you're a brand that's interested in sponsoring our chases, or for your fan who just wants to stay in touch, please check out our website at chasingkdramas.com.